We are live. All right, cool.
Good evening.
Hello.
We are three guys talking about some shit about the playoffs mainly because the playoffs start Saturday. And we had a hell of a game last night to end the regular season to determine all the NFC seeding, which was a crazy outcome because it could have went. When I talked to you, Mike, you were telling me if the Seahawks would have won, the fifth seed would have been a 13-3 team, which would probably be the first time that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I can't remember another time that's ever happened. But I mean, you have basically three teams deadlocked up there at 13-3, and two of them in the same division. Now, I think that's even more miraculous that you have two 13-3 teams in the same group of four. So one of them, if San Francisco lost, would have slipped to the 5 seed because Seattle would have won the division by tiebreaker because they would have beaten the 49ers twice. Obviously, didn't happen.
Right. It was close, though, dude. And in my opinion, the Seahawks should have won that game. Like, did you see the end of the game where they went for it, right there at the goal line?
Yeah, I saw it. So I came back from Nashville. When I got here, I was listening to the game on the radio and kind of turned it off about halftime because it seemed like Seattle was done.
Yeah.
They just really didn't put up a fight. And then so kind of got the kids shepherded in here, got up, turned it back on just to kind of check the score. And I'm like, what? They're on the final drive and they go down and they're about to put it in. And it just was a crazy sequence there at the end. Crazy sequence. And I forget the guy's name. It was like Hollister, 48. He catches this little pass over the middle. I can't think of the guy's name that made the tackle, but some rookie linebacker just cracks him. And it hits him in such a way that he was trying to turn his shoulder to lean the ball over the end zone. And it was just, it stopped him perfectly where he went down, hit on his left shoulder, his right shoulder had the ball, and he's just like barely turned and was short by 2 inches.
Yeah. No, it was like the perfect tackle. It looked great, but the play before that, dude, was absolutely pass interference. And it was with 20 seconds to go, I believe, in the game. And, dude, they didn't review it at all. I mean, it was clear cut. It was just like a carbon copy of what happened last year in fucking New Orleans. Same exact shit, dude. Same exact thing.
I wish I could say something about it. I fell asleep. They got too boring for me. But the way I did catch the ending of it, what you're talking about, and to me, it just spoiled a good game. I guess maybe it was a good game towards the end. It wasn't at the beginning. But
No,
I didn't like the way it ended. That sucks for those teams, both of them. I mean, it needs to be more precise and clear cut that when you win, it doesn't need to have these drag on tales that seems to happen that I don't. It sucks for them, but I'm glad for the 49ers to win. I'm ready for them to go into the playoffs and do something with themselves.
And I have an unpopular opinion. That was not pass interference, and I'll tell you why it wasn't.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Here it comes. Call me Richard Sherman because he's like the only other person on the planet that agrees with me, which is never a good spot to be in. But the guy that went in the end zone for Seattle initiated contact with the defender. The defender was off point and kind of used his momentum to go back into the ball, and which caused the offensive player to kind of do one of these, oh, he hit me, hands in the air type of deals. If you go back, you have to really watch it a couple of times. But because he initiates contact by the rule, or the way they used to call the rule, this year is kind of grab bag, like Magic 8 Ball. We're going to figure out what this play is. But by the letter of the rule, that actually wasn't interference. And I actually like that they let him play towards the end of the game. I mean, not that they have a choice. They don't review anything anyway. But I don't think it was interference.
It was. It was. I'm not. No, it was fucking pass interference.
Sorry, man.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I mean, we're all wrong at times. It happens. I mean, I understand. Dude, it happens to me all the time.
I don't apologize for being wrong.
Well, I mean, you're apologizing for something. That could be the only possible thing you'd be.
Oh. No, I apologize that you're taking the other opinion, the wrong one. So
yeah,
that's right. Agree to disagree.
I'll tell you one thing I know about the Seahawks that I did gather from last night and the little bit that I was awake is that Marshawn Lynch is not going to be a factor going forward.
Man, I don't know.
Dude, I mean, I can't. I don't agree with that statement.
I do. He had 12 carries for 34 yards, I think is what it was. Yes. Mm-hmm. And he's facing in the NFC going forward some really, really good run defenses.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind he's going to struggle.
He's definitely going to struggle. I mean, the guy hasn't played football really in over a year. You know, you consider he was injured the last season early and didn't play again. So I don't think I was kind of curious with this whole thing. Robert Turbin too. Robert Turbin, when he's healthy, wasn't really a great back to have on the roster. He was kind of a fill-in guy.
No.
So it's kind of weird that they went back after those. I think it was more of a try to inspire the team type situation, because there's a lot of people on the Seahawks that never met Marshawn, but we're working out other running backs today. So I think if they keep him on there, it's just a short-term deal. I don't think
it's an absolute short-term thing. I do not disagree with that. However, this is, if anything else, dude, you're getting the crowd into it more. I mean, it's not just a locker room boost, but it's a fan boost, and they really proved that last night.
Let's say that experiment happened last night. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Whoops.
He got the end zone. I mean, you know, and here's a really cool thing about the end of the game. The way it all kind of started to materialize. I don't know if y'all are aware they had the big delay game penalty with like 20 seconds left. They were trying to rush everybody up to the line. One of the linemen was hurt, and then they got really confused in delay game. So had that delay game penalty not happened,
My bad.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was way behind. But no, when you get like right up on the 1 yard line with the game on the line, they were putting Marshawn Lynch in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me wonders if they didn't just get that delay game penalty on purpose because they didn't want that smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Goal to go with the game on the line. Are you going to give it to Marshawn or are you going to throw it again?
Yep.
But that would have been a cool finish.
It would have been. It would have been.
But all right, so yeah.
It was fun while it lasted, and they got hyped off of it a little bit, but that's over.
It's a good last game of the season.
So what did that make? Does that make Seattle the 6th seed?
They are, I think they're the 5 seed. Yeah, they're the 5 seed because the Vikings are the 6.
Really?
I need to look.
The Vikings are playing Philly, and Philly's the 4 seed. Because they won their division. That screws me up so bad because they have the worst record.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So Vikings and Philly's the 4th. So that's 4 and 5. So yeah, the 6th seed. No, the Seattle's the 6th seed out of this book.
And they're going against the Saints.
Yeah.
And the Saints are going to win that game. I'll go ahead and say that.
Versus the Eagles?
Yeah, no, it's the Saints and the Vikings.
Oh, the Saints and the Vikings. Yes.
I screwed all that up.
Yeah. And then it's the Eagles against the Seahawks, and I'm giving that to the Seahawks.
Yes. No, I disagree there.
Oh, you're so wrong, dude. You're so fucking wrong.
I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to give Eagles the edge.
Nope, I will not give the Eagles the edge.
I got to stay with them, man. I've been riding this train the whole time. I do not trust Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz can't do it.
Either.
It's not about him.
I don't either.
It is about him. It's absolutely about Carson Wentz, dude. He can't fucking do it.
He can manage a game.
I don't trust the Eagles either, and they're absolutely going to win this game because they shouldn't be here in the first place.
Wait, what?
So they're going to win this game because they shouldn't even be here in the first place. Yeah. So of course they're going to win the first game of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. This is the way this stuff always plays out.
Seahawks are coming off a loss, and now they're the 6th seed. No, I don't know. No,
I'm riding the train all the way. Eagles, baby. And I don't care anything about Carson Wentz either. I really have no give a shit about him, but I just have some feeling about him.
I don't see it happening, dude. I don't see it happening. I mean, I'm glad that they beat the Giants. I'm glad that they put the Cowboys out, because with them putting the Cowboys out, I think Jason Garrett's ass is even more on fire. However, per rumors on Twitter, which like 3 fucking people said or some shit, that like the whole staff has been fired, which is bullshit because he's got a meeting with them tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So I don't see how people are talking shit on that end. But what do y'all think? Do you think he's in, or do you think he's getting fucking fired? Or not fired, but not rehired, excuse me. Because his contract's out. So
go ahead, Miles. I'll let you take this one.
Well, I have really a lot of mixed emotions about this, but generally speaking, I mean, I don't understand why he hasn't been gone a long time ago. Thus, my line of thinking must be out of line with Jerry Jones's. So he must enjoy having this man as the front face of being beat on when things go wrong and he gets everything when things go right, and Jerry Jones being the one that gets things when it goes right. So, I mean, it's really a win-win for him, along with the fact that he's figured out a way to make excessive amounts of money without having a winning team. And I don't know, if anything else matters to him as much as money. So winning is kind of, a byproduct. And I think that there's not another coach other than maybe this Kitchens character who just left that would let him, Jerry Jones, stick this hand up the proverbial ass and be the puppeteer. I don't think there is.
Yeah,
No, dude, you're right. You're 100% all over it, man. I think anybody would have let Garrett go a while ago. I mean, it's results driven, and you have a ton of talent on this team. I feel like we've really, beat the hell out of this horse this year because they kind of bring the whole thing up over and over again. Like, why are you 8-8? Why are you in a division where no one else can win and you can't beat these guys? So they won this last week in impressive fashion against probably what I would say is the worst team in the league, in the Redskins. But you now have a lot of contract issues and stuff, and it's going to be harder for Jerry Jones to put the accountability off like what you're talking about without Jason Garrett there, because if he brings in another coach, the other coach gets kind of that first year of a free pass because now you have to sign all these guys. Now you're going to wind up losing somebody because I don't think Amari Cooper signed the new deal yet. I think Zeke of the three is the only one that signed one, right?
That's all I know.
Prescott's going to sign. And you got to use the franchise tag on one of those guys. You're going to wind up in a real tough spot. And I don't know who else you're going to get in there. All the A-list coaches are really starting to get, feelers out there. Josh McDaniels is doing his yearly, whatever the fuck he's doing, circuit. And Ron Rivera, everybody's talking about is going to go to they're negotiating him taking over the Redskins job.
Yeah,
because Bruce Allen's out.
Yeah, I read the same thing.
So I don't know. And here's what I think Jerry Jones is doing. I think he's just kind of buying time to try to see the interest out there. If he can get a decent coach on, and he's done this a couple of times in the last 10, 15 years where he has a guy on staff, but he's looking around. And if he feels like he can grab somebody else, he'll bring him in there and then get rid of the other guy. But that's probably why that hasn't happened yet. Otherwise, I think it would have.
Jerry Jones.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, what about you talked about the Redskins president? He's gone, but so is Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden's gone.
He's been gone.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's been gone. The other guy was an interim coach, and they also got rid of the interim coach at Carolina as well.
See, I didn't pay any attention to the Redskins this year at all.
Oh, no one has. It's
there's no reason to. There's no reason to. And then Schumer is gone from the Giants as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's a lot of coaches going down. Well, that's it. But I mean,
Matt Patricia stays alive still.
So does Dan Quinn, from what I understand.
Yeah, and I question that. Just because you go 6-2 in the last half of the season, they haven't had a winning season, really, have they? In Atlanta, have they recently, like within the past 3 years?
Last year was a little low. I don't remember what they finished, but it was kind of like that 8-8 level.
Yeah,
and
no playoffs.
No playoffs. Yeah. No playoffs. And they really haven't been very competitive in the division. They get kicked around by New Orleans pretty much every year. This year is kind of like the outlier, which, given the record is a little surprising. Yeah. But they've got a lot of stuff that needs fixing. And, we talked about it when we first started in the podcast earlier this year about Dan Quinn just paving the road to being out of Atlanta. And then he turned it around because he shuffled those defensive coaches around. But it's really strange to me that they decided to give him another year. I think maybe they did that because there's a lack of available candidates out there that they could get. There's going to be a lot of jobs open if you think about it. And I think that Arthur Blank just looked at it and said, you know what, we may be better with the bird in the hand and then just try again next year if we go south again.
That makes sense to me with him, especially. And with the whole thing with Detroit, though, and Matt Patricia, I mean, how they have done coaches in the past handful of years and why he should be treated any different, I don't know. I guess.
I mean, he hasn't shown any fight this year.
How many years has he been in Detroit?
This is his third, isn't it?
Is it his third?
Second.
Okay.
Second. Dude,
they'll let you go after one up there.
Well, I mean, obviously, so do the Browns.
Yeah, but they're on a whole nother plateau of weird
Right.
stink.
Wow.
They're a victim of their own decision making. I mean, they get guys in there that shouldn't be head coaches in the first place, and then
Like,
the only
I'll
one they
give you-
stuck with. Yeah, the only one they stuck with was Hugh Jackson, and he was the worst of all of them. So it just kind of like colors it in crayon, like bright red, like you don't know what you're doing.
Obviously not, dude. But I just don't see how that you can give you gave Kitchens in what, a year. Why?
Because he's
even-
got so much talent on that roster. There's no reason why it shouldn't work.
Yeah, I would agree. He just if you watched any of those Browns games, he was overmatched. And the things that really get you killed that a head coach can control during the game, they popped up every single week. They had pre-snap penalties. They had unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, personal fouls. This stuff was just rampant and didn't get corrected. OBJ, I mean, he wasn't a huge distraction, but he was constantly saying something, week in and week out. I mean, just the egos in the locker room. I think John Dorsey's a good GM. He has that Kansas City background. He's really good at amassing a lot of talent. He gets a lot of really conflicting personalities in a locker room, though. Like, he doesn't take that into account. And that's why you wind up with guys like Kareem Hunt, who get suspended 8 games this season, or Tyreek Hill in Kansas City and all the stuff that he's been through. He likes to get these type of characters because they have like this high level of talent. And you have kind of the same thing building in Cleveland. But the problem is in Kansas City, you got Andy Reid as a head coach, and he's been able to always manage these type of personalities, at least to a pretty good degree, I would think.
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens bombed. I mean, they looked like they were lost. They talked in the post-game interviews like they were lost. They were pissed off. It was dysfunction all the way around. And when you have a head coach in charge of that, he's always going to get the axe.
It was pandemonium in the locker room, and it was And the thing about Baker Mayfield, he thinks he's good on the microphone. He's not. He's just not. He's shit. He needs to keep his mouth shut. He thinks he's great at giving interviews, great at answering questions. Nah, dude, just keep your mouth shut. That's the best thing you can do right now.
Right.
So,
That's very subjective.
So obviously Josh McDaniels, is doing his fucking thing like y'all said. What about Urban Meyer?
Oh, not Cleveland.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are talking about right now.
That's not going to happen.
It would work if it did happen. Would it? No way. I mean,
I don't think it would.
Has he put his toe in the NFL ever? I don't know his history.
He mentioned something earlier this year when the Cowboys. Somebody mentioned him, like, would you go to the Cowboys? He's like, yeah, that's a dream job. Like, who wouldn't take that? And a lot of times these guys, they air something like that out there as an advertisement for themselves. So it's assumed that he's looking for an NFL job. I think he would take one, but he's got so much Bill Parcells personality in him that he's just going to go somewhere and be there for 2 or 3 years and retire for health reasons again. Right. I mean, how many times has he done that already?
Yes. Yes.
Well, the team's also requested permission to interview Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman.
Why not?
Yeah,
Roman's overdue.
Yes, I appreciate totally what he's done there, but all I know about him, and this is very limited, is what I've seen with him do. Where does he come from? Before the Ravens?
Oh, I have no idea. Mike would have a better shot on that.
He was with the 49ers during the Kaepernick days. And he was really good, like the Harbaugh Kaepernick era there, where they went to the Super Bowl.
Well, that makes sense with Lamar Jackson. Then,
yeah, he's always been really good with mobile quarterbacks.
Right. Yes. How many of those are there?
There's few.
So I mean, that's a match you got to kind of make there. I don't know. I just don't see him being a successful head coach just because.
So did y'all hear that? Per Washington Post, that Mike McCarthy has been interviewed by the Panthers?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That must be pretty recent today, huh?
Yeah, at least 4. All right, so Mike McCarthy has reportedly already got an interview with the Panthers. So
I think he'd be a good fit there. I mean, that's with or without Cam Newton. And I mean, there's a large segment of the population thinks that Cam has done there. I personally think that they should keep him, but either way, I mean, even if they had to draft another quarterback next year, they'll have a high enough pick. And McCarthy's good enough. I think McCarthy's got enough experience in the type of offense that he runs and putting it in there and adjusting it to different players. he can make it work. And they've got Christian McCaffrey to build around. That's not a bad start.
So what about Adam Gase? How the fuck is he still holding the job? How the fuck is he still holding the job?
7-9, dude.
Oh.
The Jets have shot up the charts the last 6 weeks.
I guess.
I have no comment on Adam Gase. I mean, this is his first year, right?
In New York, yes.
Yeah.
He was with Miami the previous three.
Miami, right? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
That's a ragtag bunch. That football team.
Dude, it's like the Frankenstein of just shit. It's just shit.
They played good down the stretch. They won some big games or games against decent teams.
Yeah.
No, they did.
Yes, they did.
No, they did. What decent team? What decent team?
I'm asking for this. They beat the Cowboys. They beat. I think did they beat Buffalo?
I want to say they did beat Buffalo in some kind of like 9-12 situation.
Yeah. I mean,
no, they started playing a lot better. I don't like Gase as a head coach. I think he's got a lot of this Todd Haley. I'm better than everybody here, yet I've never played football type of attitude about him.
Yeah,
and I don't like it. And I think it grates on people. The New York media is gonna kill him. This Le'Veon Bell crap he brought on himself. I'm sure you guys have heard about that.
Yep. They went after Bell to tell him that, hey, you need to do better. That's basically what it come down to.
Well, they asked him point blank. They said, "Do you want Le'Veon Bell here next year?" And he's like, ask Mike, or whoever the GM is. Can't remember his name, but it's like, yeah, ask the GM. And they're like, but do you want him here? And he's like, just ask the GM. He handles personnel. It's like, just say yes. Even if you're lying, just say yes to them.
Exactly.
Shut up.
Exactly. You gotta. Yeah, that's somebody that doesn't know how to give an interview. Somebody that doesn't know how to talk to the media.
Dude, if your girlfriend
you gotta be a politician.
If your girlfriend or wife asks you, "Hey, did you cheat on me?" and you're like, "Look, we'll talk about it tomorrow." That's the wrong fucking answer. Like, just answer the question, and just go to the next thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that was a terrible analogy, but you get it, right?
I got it.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. God, we got one viewer. I hope it ain't anybody. All right.
Who's viewing this? Who in the world is viewing this?
I have no fucking clue. All right, so kitchen. All right, no, that's the wrong thing. So Titans are in. Fucking Titans are in.
Yes, sir.
That's right,
Victory dance.
Dude. Like, yeah, I'm proud of them. Derrick Henry got a rushing title with the fucking 53-yard touchdown run. They're going to the Patriots, and they're going to beat the Patriots. They're going to beat the Patriots because fucking Tom Brady's done. Tom Brady's over.
I agree with that.
He's done.
Yeah,
they don't have anybody else on the team. I mean, it's shit, dude. They're shit, and they're done, and I'm happy, and I'm repeating myself.
They've fallen off hard this year.
How did it happen overnight? I mean, they started so strong. I don't know. I mean, they were riddled with injuries all year long in some fashion or another. But who else do you blame but Tom Brady? Who else is it?
It's tough. I mean, I know that there's not a lot of receivers, and to their credit, they've tried every way in the world to get some people to start, get some talent on the roster to catch passes, and maybe that caught up with him. I know that Brady's fallen off a little bit, but geez, I mean, the defense that's been carrying him, it's not carrying him anymore, and they don't have across the board, nothing's working. They lost to Miami this last weekend when they had something to play for, and you think about how big that is. New England has not had a wild card game since, I want to say, 2009.
Yeah, 2009.
2009.
Yep.
And they had everything to play for against a team that was supposed to wind up with the first overall pick next year in the draft when the season started. And they blew it. And, I mean, spectacularly. I mean, Fitzpatrick came down and scored the last 30 seconds of the game against a defense that was killing everybody at the beginning of this year. So it's crazy.
Did you see what happened right before halftime?
I didn't.
Dude, like with 55 seconds left, right? They got the ball back with 3 timeouts and ran the ball 3 times.
Is this some kind of red flag, like Belichick saying, "I'm done here. This is no more"? Because they want to keep Tom Brady there as long as he wants to play.
No, Tom Brady's gone. Tom Brady's done. Tom Brady's
he'll
done.
be there next year.
He'll be there next year, man. He
don't
will be
think he
there
will.
before Bill Belichick will.
I don't
They've
think he
made
will.
that clear.
But I think they're going to lose this weekend.
I do too.
I hope
really
they do. But
I
I'm concerned.
absolutely hope they do. Fuck them.
Is Ryan Tannehill suddenly a good quarterback?
Yes.
I mean, I'm looking at his stats, and they're better than any other year he's played.
And they're better than any fucking quarterback in the league right now.
He's playing with confidence. No, you're right. They have the top number one offense in the last 10 weeks of the season.
Yes, they
which
do.
is basically the games that he played. He's the highest passing rating. He has the highest yards per game. I mean, he's really lights out. I mean, he's having a massive career resurgence, but he's confident. He doesn't play scared like Mariota did.
Yeah.
And he's the type of guy that actually could be trouble for us, for the Titans in this game, because guys like Tannehill that are really coming in hot and they get a defense like the Patriots, he may be inclined to throw towards Stephon Gilmore, which is a terrible idea. They need to game plan everything to stay away from Gilmore, who I would assume in Gilmore is going to be on Arthur Brown. The way Arthur Brown's been playing this season, he's easily our number one receiver. I think that they're going to have to – those two are going to have to cancel out. Now you're going to have to get Corey Davis involved. You're going to have to get Johnny Smith involved and really, take what the defense is going to give you until you get that lead, because once if the Titans get 10 points in this game, I think they've got it locked down, because with the run game and the defense that we have, and our defense has gotten better as the season's gone on, the Patriots have not. I think that we could sit on them and just run the clock out. So it really just depends on what happens. The first two quarters is how the game's going to play out, in my opinion.
Have the Titans? My concern is like Bill Belichick. I mean, he's ready for Derrick Henry. That's what he's going to be ready for. And if he can stop him, then I don't know if Tannehill can hold the rest of the bag. I really don't know.
I agree that that Bill Belichick is going to be ready, but the Patriots defense isn't going to be ready for our offensive line.
I can't say that with confidence, because I've sat in the same place before with the Pats, and then they go out and do. I mean, it's like night and day. Just as quickly as they've gone south, can they turn around and do?
But see, in my opinion, though, the reason that the offensive line for the Titans have really come into their own in the past 5 weeks, in my opinion. That's
really
when everything has changed. Because, dude, at the beginning of the year, I'm sorry, they were shit. The chemistry was not there at least the first four games. It was just constant fucking false starts, all kind of stupid penalties on the offensive line. They've really cut down on the penalties. They're playing as a unit. And, dude, they are blocking. They are opening up those holes. That's why our running game is what it is.
Dude, you're right.
Anybody outside of New England wants to see Tennessee win this game.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So.
No, I agree. The Titans have all the weapons. I mean, I think they could. They're playing probably better than any Titans team I've seen in the last, probably since 2008 or maybe even late 2009. As far as having all the pieces to be able to go toe to toe with anybody, especially a playoff team like New England. And New England's on the way down, so I think we're going to catch them at a good time. What's more concerning about that is that we come in as the 6th seed, which means if we beat New England, we're going to get Baltimore. And I'm not trying to look ahead, but that's going to be a really tough mountain to climb. I think we're definitely favored to win this weekend.
I like the Titans. As long as Henry carries it over 25 times, we'll be good to go.
So, all right. So that's one off. That's one AFC game. What about the other one? The Texans and the Bills.
Oh, come on, Bills.
Houston Buffalo. Really? You know what's great is that you start seeing all these like flashbacks of the Houston Buffalo game of '93 where they came back from 35-3. That's been popping up already the last couple of days, and it's like you can't really do that because the Texans weren't the Oilers. This is a different franchise.
Absolutely.
No, that's funny.
I want the Bills to win this game really badly. I don't know why. I guess I just feel. I think when's the last time they've won a playoff game? I know they've been to the playoffs in the past 10 years, but I don't think they've won a game in the past 10 years.
I don't think they have either.
So
they haven't won a game since before Music City Miracle.
A playoff game?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
No. I'm asking. That was a question.
No, I think that's true. Because I know they haven't won since then. I think it was before then. You're probably looking at when's the last Super Bowl they went to? It was 90.
With
90,
Kelly,
91,
right?
92, 93. So it might have been the 93 or 94 season in there somewhere.
Yeah. So we gotta find that out.
Well,
It's worth looking up, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
within that 5-year stretch is the last time they won one. And they
Personally,
came close. They almost beat Jacksonville, but they didn't make it.
Right.
I don't think the Texans deserve to win the way they've been playing. I don't.
Well,
They,
dude, this last game was disappointing for me just because they had so many backups in there. And dude, Tennessee didn't really dominate till later on in the game. Dude, all right, so they shut him down in the red zone. I'll give you that. But dude, I'm uncomfortable when you let a team fucking march up and down the field on you. You're killing time. You're killing the defense as far as stamina, because no defense in the fucking NFL has any stamina apparently.
Still.
You don't know what Texans team you're going to get. If they had their starters, then they might have still lost.
That's
But
my point.
You're absolutely right.
It's
You're absolutely
that,
right.
He's looked flat. Watson in particular. That Saturday game against the Bucks, I don't even know if it was him or they just put some lookalike out there. It was very odd.
I'm rooting for Buffalo. Buffalo's got a fun team to watch. They got a good defense, and it's been a long time. I like seeing the underdog pop through once in a while.
From 99 until 2017, they didn't qualify for even get into the playoffs, and they still didn't even win then.
I thought they got in a few years ago, but they didn't win.
Well, yeah, 2017.
Oh, okay. We're in like 2020.
Yeah.
They all run together after 21.
Yeah, no shit. They all run together after graduation.
Mm.
So, all right, so y'all both going with the Bills on that one?
Yes, sir.
Or do y'all just want the Bills?
No, I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills.
All right. Yep, I am too. So then we got the NFC. We got the Saints. We just figured this out. Why do I not have this pulled up? So I wanted to see y'all. All right, we got the Vikings at the Saints.
Yeah.
And then Seahawks at Eagles. I'm definitely taking the Seahawks.
I'm going against you there, and I'm taking the Eagles.
I got Eagles.
Oh my God! All right, I gotta write this shit down.
It's
Let's
gonna
write this
get
shit
mad.
down. No, I'm not gonna get mad. I don't give a fuck.
I got
Dude.
it. I
Man,
like
it
your
was-
reasoning, Mike. I like your reasoning just fine because of the probabilities.
It happens.
Yes.
It happens, man. Seattle the beast mode game where they got in. They were 7-9 that year, and they had a similar situation. Won the division in a bad year, and they got to the wild card round and they beat New Orleans. That was the beast mode game where he ran like 60 yards over 15 people.
Yeah.
With
And
the Matt
they beat
Hasselbeck blocking for him.
Yeah, they beat the Saints. I don't know who they lost to the next week. They got clobbered, but they won that first game.
Mm-hmm.
So we agree on all the other games except for this one. So what about Vikings and the Saints? That to me is going to be the game of the weekend. Besides the Titans and the Patriots.
I think, part of me could see a Cousins just breakdown in this game and like they just suck and it'd be a blowout. I hate to be that way, but there's a part of me that is seeing this in my fortune telling of football. Well, and if that's not the case, then I hope to see an even match and a high scoring one, but I'm giving the Saints the game.
It's two
Whichever way.
snake-bitten franchises. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the most dramatic ways to lose a playoff game year after year after year.
True.
It's the Saints. And the Vikings have Kirk Cousins. Which he can't win any of the big games. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I really feel like whoever I pick in this, I'm going to be wrong. If they could both lose, I think they would. But I think you got to go common sense and pick the Saints. I'm going with the Saints on this one.
I'm going with the Saints too.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So anything else? I don't know what else to talk about.
I gotta get a tooth pulled. Okay.
That's no good.
Stop.
Yeah, I got you.
Just found out about that.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Yeah, just
That
today.
sucks.
I got to get that bastard yanked out.
I haven't had to do that since my wisdom.
I got those cut out too.
Yeah, that was.
Sucks.
Yeah, I don't remember. I only had one cut out. The other two just lay dormant, and apparently I'm missing the other one. So
I had them all cut out, and I don't know if you remember this, but in high school they got infected, and I had chipmunk cheeks for like 2 weeks, man.
no, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it sucked.
No,
I haven't got
don't.
mine out yet. I
Are
heard
you
it's fun,
serious?
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Well, then, if you haven't got them out
Keep
by
'em.
now, you should be good.
Yeah, I think so.
though. I hope so.
Yeah, once you make it past a certain age, I don't think you have to worry about it anymore. But
Still got my tonsils, my wisdom teeth, just trying to keep everything I can, trying to
I
hold
don't have. I definitely don't have my tonsils.
I do. I got those.
No.
I gave up my gallbladder this past summer.
All right, you're fucking
Oh
old.
yeah.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Yeah. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Well, yeah. Actually, I'm the oldest one here. I believe
gonna
y'all two
say.
are the same age.
You're older than I am.
Yeah.
From the looks of it, that's very likely. Zing!
Hey, I had the best moment over the summer, man. Adrian and I went to this wedding of this couple. They're both like 30 years old. And everybody in the fucking place looked like shit, man. And they were all 30 years old. And they were coming up to us and they couldn't believe that we were almost 40. And I said,
Yeah.
all right, this is really nice. I like this.
Dude, there are a lot of old fucking young people, dude.
Hey,
There are a lot of old looking young people.
I feel like I've done all right with myself.
I
For
know
as much as I've done.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I just fixed. Well, I mean, as long as I wear a hat, I don't look that old, because it covers most of my face.
We've all
And the
army
fact-
crawled it this far. We're doing good.
No shit. All right, well, cool. Well, what do y'all got planned tomorrow night?
Going out.
Are you really going out?
Yeah, we're gonna go out to dinner, and then we might swing by this party that she was invited to of people that she works with.
Yeah, not me. We're going to be staying home.
Good for you.
Yes, I don't like going out. Don't like one bit.
Me and a bunch of kids, man. We won't be doing much of anything exciting.
Hell yeah, but that's peaceful, and that's a great way to start. the fucking
Yeah, you
year.
get to wake up at like 9 a.m. on New Year's Day and wander outside and see all everybody else, like, one eye closed, like, Jesus Christ. You're just laughing and smiling. What's wrong with him, Daddy? Don't worry about it, honey.
No shit. Well, y'all have a good, man. I'm going to get off here.
Later.
All right.
See ya.
Later.